Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum and the S&P 500 and just try to figure out where are we going from here. And I've shared plenty of thoughts about that, but I just want to rehash some things and open up a new thought that I have in regards to Ethereum and how that affects the market. And so anyway, if you like this content, smash up that like button. As always, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment in the comment section, but otherwise, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. Bitcoin briefly rises above $24,000, extending its New Year rally amid a broader gain in tech stocks. And so we saw Bitcoin obviously go above $24,000 both yesterday after the FOMC meeting and today. It should not be a surprise given the fact that we were expecting a 25 basis point increase and expecting Jerome Powell to at least posture himself as hawkish, but to read between the lines as to what he was saying and understand that we are pretty much done, maybe entirely done with raising rates. And so let's see what this article has to say here. Bitcoin briefly touched the 24,000 level on Thursday, reaching a key technical level and building on its January rally. The up move came a day after the Federal Reserve raised its benchmark interest rate by a quarter percentage point. But Fed Chairman Jerome Powell noted that a disinflationary process has started, soothing investors who are betting on inflation to fall and are causing them to take more risk. And so we've been seeing this since November, that the DXY has been falling pretty dramatically, meaning investors are more willing to go risk on. One analyst says, quote, this is Yuya Hasegawa, "The market took the latest FOMC as dovish, but Bitcoin's rally remains precarious. The price did rise on Wednesday, but failed to close above 24K, and its momentum seems to be in decline." So there is a more skeptical view with Bitcoin. And I mean, that fits in a lot of what I've been talking about, considering the fact that if you haven't been following my Twitter, follow me on Twitter, WWBitcoin. I posted last night that I am looking to exit a Bitcoin long that I've had for the last few weeks at 24.4K. If it goes beyond that, I'm looking to open a short at 25.2K. We are going to get rejected somewhere in that area pretty hard, given all the things that we've talked about already, given the fact that we're going to see that death cross. You know, it's not necessarily called a death cross when the 50-week and the 200-week cross, but you know, we don't have much historically to glean from. But there is that. There is the fact that there's just a lot of confluence there, a lot of resistance there, and if we're going to commit to going beyond 25.2K, there's pretty much air between there and 28K. So are we going to commit to that? That's a big question we need to ask. And so looking at the Bitcoin chart, you can see that here. And I just want to point out, I know this looks ugly. I don't know if I've shown you all my levels, but these are all the key levels, both near and far. But then there's some other ones that I will draw as we get closer to like 42,000 or something like that. These are all the key levels that I've identified. So we have the all-time high, the monthly range high, the monthly all-time high close, and then several other levels closer to where we are right now. And you can see, based on my chart here, that I have $24,489 as the next key point of resistance. That is around where we saw the highest daily close in August of 2022, and Bitcoin has not been higher than that price since then. And so we're going to see some resistance there. And I'm just charting that. And the big thing that I want to point out here is just I'm looking to trade between ranges. And that's why horizontal lines are so important to understand. Trading between ranges is key. And we can see that the range we're in right now is between, in my opinion at least, 21.8 and 24.4. Now, we could certainly wick above that. I've seen some people consider the wicks, so about 25.2, to be the key point of resistance before moving higher. And they may be right, but I'm not going to wait until then. I'm closing my longs. But here's the thing. Here's the really important thing that I noticed from today, and I just got in a hair too late. There is even heavier resistance for Ethereum if you look at Ethereum's chart. And so I already have that laid out, but $1,700 is such a key area of resistance. And why is that? Well, that is where Ethereum bottomed out, right at about $1,700 in the summer of 2021. It's, mini bear moment bottom at $1,700. I know there were tons of people insisting that Ethereum was going to go much lower, but that is where we bottomed out. And when you see a bottoming out like that after an explosive move up to $4,400, I believe, for Ethereum, and then a bottoming out at about $1,700, that bottoming out zone is such a key level in terms of support, but eventually, if you flip through that to the downside, resistance. And so here's what I'm talking about here. You can see several weeks where we got really low and bounced really hard off of that $1,700 level. Starting with May 9th of 2022, early May of 2022, you can see we wicked down to that, right down to that level, and bounced very hard off of it, closed that week at $2,150, and then had a little, did not bounce, didn't go down that low the following week, but the next week, same thing happened. But we didn't bounce nearly as hard. We went right down to $1,700, bounced a little higher because $1,700 was such a key level of support. But then look what happened when we fell through. We plummeted. We plummeted over a span of 2 weeks to the bear market bottom around $900 for Ethereum. So this $1,700 level was key. And we got there today. And for some reason, it wasn't on my radar. I was just so focused on Bitcoin at 24.4 to 25.2 that I forgot to even think about Ethereum. But I saw Ethereum over $1,700, and then all the lights came blaring in my head, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to get in. And you know what I mean by getting in. I got to open a short. And so Ethereum got up to $1,713. And when I noticed it had gone down to $1,704. And so I decided to set a limit order for a short at $1,708. And within minutes, I realized that I had missed the boat. And so 1708 down to 1674 as I'm making this video. I don't know what to say about next. Next time we go up to $1,700 or a little above $1,700, it's probably going to be similar to this last time, but instead as resistance, where the bounce won't be as significant, but there will be a bounce to the downside. And so, yeah, you could open a short there, but eventually I see that, once we break through there, watch out not just for Bitcoin, but more so for alts. Watch out for alts. If Ethereum can break through $1,700 short term, because again, with Bitcoin, everything's going to follow Bitcoin, but things follow Ethereum just as much. And we have heavy resistance ahead for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. Now what we're seeing. But, there are reasons to be bullish. I know I made that video earlier this week talking about the significance of the 50-week crossing over the 200-week. I do think that's going to cause some short-term pain, but I don't think it's going to cause like 5 months of pain like it did in 2008 with the S&P 500. And I don't think it's going to cause 2 years of pain like it did after the dot-com bubble in 01 to 03. I think that this market is ready to move higher. Bear market rally, like I've been saying, between $32,000 and $40,000 and $42,000 for Bitcoin. That is my expectation over the next 5 months. We've had a month of this so far. Over the next 5 months, and I do believe that. I just think a lot can happen to the upside, to the downside between now and 5 months from now. So anyway, speaking about the S&P, this is such a huge moment right now for. Just for general bullishness, this to me is very convincing, even more so that the bottom for crypto at least is in, but maybe also for the stock market. So the S&P, I talked about this key level here on a couple days ago, and we have broken through. We have clearly broken through. And so what is the significance of that? All right, look at this. I mean, we have the COVID crash. It's kind of out of the screen, and then a huge bounce from there. And we peaked, when was that? December of 2021. And then we had a break of structure, change of character, put in a lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. But then what's this right here? Well, up until this week, we couldn't call that a higher low. But now that we have broken through, now we have a higher high with the S&P. This is established as a higher low. Break of structure right here. So we are, in general, in an uptrend for the S&P 500. And you know, stocks and cryptos have been correlated. There's no reason to think that that's not going to continue. Now, yeah, there can be things that can cause pain with crypto, like I've been talking about. But in general, the trend right now, in my opinion, is up. And so take for that what you will. We'll see. I mean, you know, that's barring black swans. I do think that there is going to come, maybe not as significant as the COVID crash, but I do think that there's going to be some sort of heavy correction. And I do think that there's going to be something that will cause the Fed to want to lower rates to zero and to stop tightening. And that's going to be a great time to be all in. But in the short term, in the medium term, that is not my expectation. You know, yeah, peaks and valleys throughout, but that's not my expectation. So anyway, that is all I have for today. I do want to look at crypto bubbles here. Let's see what's hot today. RNDR, that has been on my radar. OP Optimism, I made a video about that. Mina, a lot of cryptos that I've made videos about recently are doing very well. Made a video about GMX within this last week. Loopring. So you guys watching my videos and pumping it up? DYDX, I just made a video about that this week, but you can see lots of green in the crypto markets for certain altcoins. Take profits aggressively. You know, during a bull run, my general mindset has been 3x. I start taking profits, but right now it's more like not a 3x, that's for sure. More like what should I say? A 50% gain. I'll start taking some pretty aggressive profits, and maybe even less than that. So anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.